Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Give thanks to Allah. We ask His blessing on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his household companions, and all Muslims. Inshallah, today we are looking as if you observe with our syllabus, we are getting to the end of the book 2. We just have 3 more topics. Now, today we want to look at al-maf'ul mutlaq. Al-maf'ul mutlaq. Now, for those of us who have been following the classes, we have done a maf'ul before in first semester, which we call maf'ul bihi. So the maf'ul, according to Nahw scholars, there are 5. There are 5 maf'ul. The first is maf'ul bihi. We also have maf'ul mutlaq we are taking now. We have maf'ul li ajlihi. We have maf'ul fihi, which is what we also refer to as zarfu zaman wa makan, and we have maf'ul ma'ahu. Those are the 5 maf'ul we have. Now maf'ul bi is loosely translated as object of the sentence in English. So the one we are taking today is maf'ul mutlaq, which is translated as the absolute object. What does this mean? Let us explain. I will not go grammatical or I will not go scholarly in explaining it. For instance, when you write in English and you say Zaid sat, that statement Zaid sat, which you have mentioned, if you want to add another information to it, for instance, I want to say Zaid sat quickly, you know that you are describing the way he sat. You are giving more information about how he sat. That information you are giving about how he sat is what we in English we classify as adverb. Do we get now? So something of such nature is what we want to discuss now. So maf'ul mutlaq is a maf'ul that is giving you more information about an action that have occurred. Do we get now? So when we say you talk now, I say the boy talked mannerlessly, the man ran quickly, he talked vociferously. Do you get now? He ate in a quick manner, something like that. So that is what maf'ul mutlaq is talking about. Now why that of the concept of that in Arabic is more easier is that Arabic restricts that when you are giving more information about your verb, it is the masdar of that verb you are going to use. Do you get now? When you are discussing this maf'ul mutlaq, it is the masdar of the verb you have, of the action that is occurring or that want to occur. It is the masdar of it that you use to describe it. So that is why maf'ul mutlaq of in Arabic is very, very easy than even the adverb in words in English. So it's like a concept that I saying the boy sat certainly. I like that sat I've used, although it does not exist, but that's how it is in English. So for instance, Zaid jalasa Zaidun, Zaid sat. You now added and put jalasa Zaidun julusan. Do you get now? You can see that julusan you have used is share the same root with jalasa in terms of what their letters. They both have jim, they both have lam, they both have sin. So it's masdar you are going to be using to give more information about your verb. So that's the concept of maf'ul mutlaq. So among the 5 maf'il we told us we have, maf'ul mutlaq is one of the easiest to identify, because when you see taking nasbu, you quickly go back and check is verb. So when you can see it with his verb and the corresponding letters, so that is very easy. That is what maf'ul mutlaq. So let's quickly go to the work. So the note says here, al maf'ul mutlaq is a verbal noun. That is our masdar. It is always a masdar. That's the first thing you must take note. That describes or gives more information about the verb of the sentence. So you can see. So that means an action will have occurred. So the maf'ul mutlaq is now giving you more information about what the action that have occurred or the action that is about to occur. Do you get now? For instance, look at this statement, a very popular ayah of the Quran. Allah said, "Udhkurullaha dhikran kathiran." Udhkurullaha dhikran kathiran. Remember Allah with much remembrance. You can see this is udhkuru fi'lul amr abi. So you can see that they both have ka, they both have raw. So that is why we can easily say that this dhikron here that is taking nasbu is a maf'ul what mutlaq, because it corresponds with the uzkuru, your verb, which is the fi'lul amr. So that is one. Another information they are giving us here is that it is always in accusative state. What is the meaning of this accusative? What they are saying with this accusative state is that what it will always take nasbu. It is always mansub. That's why it is called maf'ul. So any maf'ul you have will always take what nasbu and always conform with the original letters of the verb, which we have mentioned before, because we say it is always the masdar of the verb that is being used. So that is why we have something like dhikron here. Can you see? Udhkuru dhikron, jalasa zaydun julusan, kharajtu min al-bayti khurujan, something of such. Now, the third point we want to let us to know, the note says the description of the verb by maf'ul mutlaq can be of three ways. So when we say maf'ul mutlaq, the basic three things maf'ul mutlaq want to do are three. What is the first one? At-tawkid, to come and emphasize your verb that okay, this action surely occurred. For instance, if I say jalasa zaydun alone, zayd sat, is not as emphatic like if I say jalasa zaydun julusan. The statement jalasa zaydun julusan is more emphasized than to say what jalasa zaydun alone. Do we get now? So when you say jalasa zaydun julusan, that is more emphasized than to just say what jalasa zaydun alone. So one of those things we use maf'ul mutlaq to do is what? For tawkid. That's why you see here li tawkid, for emphasis. So that is one. The second thing we use it for is for what? Li bayani naw'i. Li bayani naw'i, to mention or to explain the type of the verb. You know, an action can occur and can occur in different manner. People can eat and they will eat in different way. Somebody can eat like a lion, another person can eat like a sheep, another person can eat very slowly, somebody can eat in a very good manner that you also love to eat the food with the person. So because of different way an action can occur, one of those things maf'ul, that is one of those things maf'ul mutlaq will come and help us to do. So that is termed as what? Libayani naw'i, mentioning you the type of verb. For instance, look at julus now in Arabic, jalasa. People can sit in different form. Even Arabic language itself have different name for sitting. We have sitting we call iftirash, we have sitting we call ikra, we have sitting we call tawarruk, we have sitting we call ihtiba. We have different type of sitting. So that's one of those things maf'ul mutlaq will help us to do. So we have libayani naw'i, explaining the type or manner of the verb. So the third is what? We have lili adad, come and also show us or to tell us the number of time an action is occurring. Do we guess now? How many times does that action occur? For instance, the boy ate thrice, the man jumped twice, he observed salat thrice. So something like that. So three basic things maf'ul mutlaq come to do again. The first is what? Li tawkid, for emphasis. We also use for what? Li bayan naw'in, to explain the type of manner of the verb. The third is what? Li adad, the number of occurrence of the action of our verb. So let's quickly start with how will you identify each of those three types we have mentioned. Li tawkid, yeah, an explicit verb masdarun sorry will be used to describe the verb. That means your normal masdar that you know, like jalasana, his masdar is what? Julus. Akala, the masdar is aklun. What again? Koroja, the masdar is kuruj. Zahaba, the masdar sorry is what? Zahab. Mention a lot. Tala'a, the masdar is tulu'u. Zakara, the masdar is zikru. Soma, masdar is sawm. So when you mention an action, you follow it up with that masdar without adding any other thing, without adding what? Any other thing to it. When you use the masdaru sorry, do we guess now? You are not adding any other information. So that is what you are. That means what you are using your maf'ul mutlaq for in that situation is for what? Is for tawkid. Example is this: what? Jalasa zaydun julusan. We will translate zayd sat surely. Zayd surely sat. Do you guess now? Another is what? Akalitu, I ate. Aklan, that means I surely ate. There's no doubt in it. Do you get now? Like Allah also said that وَكَلَّمَ اللَّهُ مُوسَى tekliman. So it bring, if Allah just say wakallama Allahu Musa, Allah talked to Musa, there can be an intermediary. It can be that Allah talked to Musa through Jibril, Allah talked to Musa through dream, Allah talked to Musa through inspiration. But what did Allah say? Allah said wakallama Allahu Musa tekliman. That means Allah talked to Musa directly. Musa can have the voice of Allah. That's the meaning. So the issue of this thing have been removed, because the teklimon is what is emphasizing it, that the way Allah talk to Musa is a direct speech that Musa can hear Allah directly. That's why you see that the scholars of Aqidah, they always emphasize that statement, that one of those things Raham or Fadlu Allah gave to Musa is that he could hear the voice of Allah directly. Do we get now? So wakallama Allahu Musa tekliman. So that is for what? For emphasizing. Do we get now? So when you see your you see your verb, you see the masdar of the verb used as used in a nasbu state, and there is no any other information added to it. So that is what is for tawkid. Do we get now? So that is that. We can give more examples. Someone Zaidun, someone, and how many more you know? Do you get now? Now the next is libayani nawi. Libayani nawi, to point to the type of the verb or the manner which the verb have occurred. This is also very easy. How do we know it? So the masdar will be used in the sentence as mudof or as a man'ut. You know, of course, when you have a man'ut, your nat will follow. Abi now. So it will be used as a mudof. That means when you see your masdar, it will be mudof related to another words, another statement. So in that situation, you know that, oh, because they have attached the mudof to another thing. That means they are telling you that the action is occurring in the manner of that person. For instance, say, look at the example we use here. Jalasa Zaidun Julusal Ustadi. We don't just say Jalasa Zaidun Julusan now. That will have been Tawkid that we have mentioned before. But we now said now that Jalasa Zaidun Julusal Ustadi. Or we said Jalasa Zaidun Jilsatal Ustadi. This is more standard. To use Jilsata, we use Fi'ila too, because this is what we call Masdar Naw'in. There's a special Masdar for words for Naw'in. It is in Fi'ila to shape. Do you get now? So Jalasa Zaidun Julusal Ustadi, or what? Jalasa Zaidun Jilisatal Ustadi. Zaid sat like Ustaz. Zaid sat the sitting of Ustaz. So you have so the fact that we have said that you have conjectured that statement is not just a general sitting. You have attached it to somebody, that this is the way Zaid have sat. So that means it's not just any sitting, but the sitting of a particular person, the manner of his sitting. So that is why it is libayanu nawi. So, and when you want to do that in Arabic language, we do it in two ways. Is either we use the idafa process, like the example we have brought now. Jalasa Zaidun Jilisatal Ustadi. Do we get now? Masha Muhammadun Mishyatan Nabiyyi. Or Masha Zaidun Mishyatan Nabiyyi. Muhammad walked like the walking of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Do you get now? So that is that. Look at this example too. Akalitu akla ja'i'in, or akalitu iklata ja'i'in. I ate the eating of a hungry person. That means I ate like a hungry person. That means the person is very, very hungry. Do you get now? So look at that. You can see that the akla or the iklata is a mudof. You can see that it is a mudof. So the fact that it is written this way shows that your maf'ul mutlaq is what is pointing towards to naw'i. The type of his eating is not just any eating, but the eating of somebody who is hungry. Do we get now? So as a mudof. Now the second way is to use a nat and man'ut process. That means after you have mentioned your maf'ul mutlaq, you did not now stop. You now add a nat to it. Because when you add a nat to it, you have, instead of it to be a general statement now, you have also what? You have limited to a particular way. For instance, say Jalasa Zaidun Julusan Jamilan. Zaid sat a beautiful sitting. So not just any general sitting, but only a beautiful sitting. Do you guess now? Or Akalitu Aklan Seri'an. I ate hastily. I ate very fast. Do you get now? So these are the two ways you use your maf'ul mutlaq for bayanu knowing. Is either you use the idafa process, that means it will be a mudaf and you now have your mudaf ilayh, or you use it, it will be a man'ut, you now add a nat to it. Do you get now? So jalasa zaidun julusan jamilan, or akalitu aklan seri'an. These are the two examples we cited here. Like the example we cited before up there, say udhkurullaha dhikran. If we stop at dhikran, it will be tawkid. But when I say what Allah said, what udhkurullaha dhikran kathiran, so that is what is bayanu knowing. The type of the remembrance you should do, it should be the one that is much. So it's bayanu knowing. So when we want to form bayanu knowing, we use two processes. We use the idafa process, or we use the words the nat and mani'ut process. So quickly let's go to the third one. Oh, okay. Let's quickly go to the one lili adad, number of times. So it said this will be expressed by using masdaru marra. Masdaru marra. So the verbal noun indicating time of occurrence. So we use this masdar. The masdar marra come in what shape, fa'alatun shape. Don't disturb yourself. How will I know masdar marra? Look at this marra. Marra is marrat. Marratun. So that this word marratun itself is in fa'alatun shape. Do you get now? That means the term that is being used to denote the masdar marra in sarf, the marra itself is already in fa'alatun shape. So a student don't need to cram that. You don't need to be disturbing yourself to, okay, how will I know the shape of masdar marra? The marra itself is already in what? In fa'alatun shape. So this fa'alatun, that's what you are going to use. So for example now, so the verbal now indicating time of occurrence, this shape, the shape is for a trilateral verb, that's sulasi verb. For instance, look at this, akalitu aklatan, I ate once. Akalitu aklatan. So this akala now, it come is what shape now? Fa'alatun aklatan, I ate once. Akalitu aklataini, you can see I ate twice, like your fat'atun fat'atain. Do you get now? Akalitu aklatain, I ate twice. Akalitu thalatha akalatin, can see I did not say aklatu. Please take note, the calf is not taking a fatia now, because when something is a fa'alatun shape, you want to pluralize, you come fa'alat. Do you get now? So that is that. So akalitu thalatha akalatin, I ate thrice. Do we get now? So that is that. If you are using something that is not a sulasi now, a verb that is not sulasi, you need to add ta'u marbuta to it. When I say kabbarutullaha takbiratan, I will put ta'u marbuta, so takbiratan. So that's how it will be. So that is that on maf'ul mutlaq. So we use in summary, basically we use them for three things: bayanu nawi, we use it for tawkid, for emphasizing, and also use for other to show the number of times. Those are the three things we use maf'ul mutlaq for. And we told us among the five maf'ul mutlaq is the easiest, because you'll be seeing your verb and you'll be seeing the masdar, the corresponding masdar with it. So you don't need to cram it, just understand it. Very, very easy. So here are some frequently used maf'ul mutlaq without their verb mentioned. So there are some words that do occur freely that we always use, but they don't always mention their verb with it, but they are maf'ul mutlaq, like shukran now. Shukran, that we always say that shukran to people is a maf'ul mutlaq. Another is afwan. So we also have what? Marhaban, sobron, qiyaman, julusan, mahlan, dauman. So this word, they are what? Maf'ul mutlaq. So their technique is ashkuruka shukran, anfu anni afwan, urahibu bikum marhaban, isbi sobron, because this is used as a command. These two, they are used as a command. This is like a fi'l mudari. This one too like that. Qiyaman, this is also like a command. So it's kum qiyaman, ijlis julusan. Like when you go to Lectu, when you are young, you tell us qiyaman julusan when Afa arrived. You get mahlan. This one is also like a command, that when they tell you amhil mahlan or mahil mahlan, you should be slow, don't be too fast. This one is dauman. So dauman, that means continue. Dum dauman. So that is that. So all you see them. So some of those maf'ul mutlaq in the Quran, quickly we just mentioned some of them. We wrote some of them. There are so much. If you check this surah, so I think Suratul Muzammil is much there too. So Allah said what tuhibbu, but we quote some words that we are used to, especially in Juzu Amma and Juzu Tabarak, and some verses that we are used to. So Allah said, "Wa tuhibbuna al-mala hubban jamman," and you love wealth, hubban, love jamman, that is so much. Jamman is something that is intense. So you can see this is a maf'ul mutlaq because it corresponds with the tuhibbun. So the mother of ahabba is what? Hub. So do you guess now? So you can see the hub is hubban jamman. Now because the jamman is here now, we know that this type of maf'ul mutlaq is what? Is libayan naw'i, because we can see the hubban is man'ut and the nat of it is what? Jamman. Do you get now? Another example, let's quickly look at it. Oh, this thing is, I don't know, after that one. Kalla, Allah said kalla is a dukkatil arudu, that can see dukka. This not able majhul, this is a majhul verb, fi'l mabniy lil majhul. Do you guess is a passive form? So we see the masdar with it. That can, the mother of that car, which is that kun. So that can, so it's taking a nasbu and correspond with our verb, so that's why I can conveniently say that this is a maf'ulu mutlaq, and this one is what is pointing, is what is doing tawkid. That's why it is repeated twice like this. So another example, anna sababna al-maha sabban. You can say sabba, the mother is what? Sabbun. So that's why you have sabban like this here. So this also what? Litawkid. Do we get now? Litawkid. Another is what? Summa shakakna al-arda shakkun. So shakka, the mother is what? Shakkun. That's why you have shakkun here. So this also what? Litawkid. We also have iza zulizilatil ardu zilzalaha. Iza zulizilati. So zulizla is also in majhul form, is in passive form. The active form is what? Zalzala. So zulizilatil, when the earth is shaking. So shaking, zilzalaha. You can see that this zilzal is a mudaf. Because it is a mudaf, so we can conveniently say it is what? Libayani nawi. It will not just quake in a particular way, but the quaking of the earth. So it's used as a mudaf. So it is libayani nawi. Another example we have here, wahumilatil ardu walijibalu fadukkata dakatan wahida. So this one is what? Is for more, is for adad, because it's in fine Latin shape. The mother is in fine Latin shape of dukkata. Do we get now? So because arudu and jibal, they are both feminine, that we have it's supposed to be dukka. So dukkata, do we get now? Because there are two. So we have many more examples in the Quran. So that is that. So we end the class for the introduction part. So the next class will be on the notes. Pray Allah accept it from us as an act of ibadah. So we can read the notes, also try to form our own example to gain confidence of the work. Pray Allah accept it as an act of ibadah. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.